Because you talk about the IOA now investigating. So Nikhil, I just want closing comments because we're running out of time. But for people to understand, who were a little confused in the beginning, a 3-member panel was set up, 72 hours given. What happens to that now? What happens to what's happening inside? Because there is now already a complaint with the IOA. On the other hand, there is now a meeting, of the Federation on the 22nd in Ayodhya. Contextualize everything.
Well, I think the first and the most important meeting now will be the Wrestling Federation meeting, because there itself, democratically, the members would have to decide whether Brij, Bhushan, Sharan should continue or not. If let's say there is a scenario where the members decide that no, on moral grounds, he should step aside pending an inquiry, then he'd have to do that. He'll have no option left at the moment. Of course, the IOA is also a body which the Wrestling Federation is affiliated to. They all follow the Olympic Charter, but there again, they will not have the jurisdiction of impeaching him. Then there is the Sports Ministry that's also looking into this entire matter. And the Sports Ministry, as I said earlier, also can't do much. But from the fact that derecognize the Wrestling Federation, and at best when they derecognize the Wrestling Federation, all they can do is ensure that no funds then are given to the National Federation, which the Sports Ministry gives on an annual basis. That is roughly around 70 lakh rupees that they give every National Federation. So that might be stopped at an immediate basis. So that's what's going to happen. But as I said, the most important meeting now is going to be the Wrestling Federation meeting that is going to be taking place in the home turf of
Nikhil, before I go into a break, I'm sorry I might be exceeding my time there, but I want to ask you that question. It comes down to the Wrestling Federation and the meeting. I want to know how many members in the Wrestling Federation, who comprises of the Wrestling Federation. Do you can you give us a basic sense?
So there will be 29 members based on each state, and that's how it's divided. And each of them then have 2 votes. So there are 2 votes per state association. So you'll have to do your math. That should be about 58 votes, if I'm not mistaken, on last count. So those many members then sit down to vote. I think you would need a 2/3 majority to impeach the existing president. And I think that's pretty common amongst all federations that you have. Once you reach that majority, that is when then you can ask the president to step aside. So I'm just putting it briefly based on what I remember as far as the number of members and the number of votes that you get.
And those 2 appointees from each state, are they political appointments?
No, they are also democratically elected within the state association. So states then are distributed amongst districts. Each district is then represented by a member. Then they go through a voting process, and then there are office bearers there. And then the association then gets 2 votes to vote. And then this is decided jointly by the association and not by an individual as such.
Right. All right. I appreciate all you joining us, gentlemen. Thank you, and Ms. Tomar, appreciate it as well. Viewers, there are a lot of layers to the story. Understandably, we're going to try and peel each and every layer. But the overpowering issue, and it must be overpowering, and let's keep away all the, the cliches that we hear about Beti Bachao, about Behens, about women. It's got nothing to do with them. It's about our Olympians who've made a very, very grave charge, who actually have looked you, the viewer, in the camera while sitting on a cold evening in Jantar Mantar and asked you, why don't you believe us?